Today is going to be madness. All 18 Champions League matches kicking off at 3 p.m. Eastern, all available on Paramount+. It all gets going at 1 p.m. with Champions League Matchday, followed at 2 p.m. with UEFA Champions League. Today, Kate, Thierry, Jamie, and Mike are joined by our very own Nico Cantor over in London. And the Golazo show kicks off at 3 p.m. Eastern, then plenty of post-match reaction. Now, taking a look at the notable matchups today, Arsenal are taking on already eliminated Kairat Almaty. Arsenal looking to remain unbeaten in this competition. Manchester City, they'll look to bounce back from last week's loss to Bodo Glimt when they take on Galatasaray, and reigning champions PSG, who have already had 2 losses and a draw in the league phase, look to close out strong against Newcastle. Now, taking a look at the standings, Arsenal and Bayern Munich, they're the only 2 clubs that have already sealed their place in the round of 16. And the 4 teams at the bottom, they've already been eliminated. So looking at the rest of the teams in spot 3 through 15 have already advanced, but now it's a matter of if they go through straight to the round of 16 or if they have to play in the knockout phase playoffs. That means 17 teams, the teams in spots 16 through 32, are still fighting for the final spots to advance on. So now that we have set the stage for you, Michael Lahoud, take it away by giving us your UCL title, hopes, tears.
Yeah, look, I'm a dreamer by nature. My wife can tell you that. I'm sure you guys can tell me that with some of my opinions on football. But I'm really excited about this because this is the business end of the season, the Champions League, right? So the dream phase, the dream theme, the dream team, or dream teams is what I put with my tears. So as I get my laptop fired up, these are the different categories. Pipe dream, we all know what that means. It's living somewhere within the clouds, right? Not realistic. Fever dream, which is a bit more realistic, but everything has to go well and everything has to go right. Dare to dream. That's going to be some interesting teams in there. Living the dream, of course, and if destiny awaits. And as we see there are 2 teams already there. Arsenal, it seems like this is a season of destiny for Mikel Arteta and his team. And Bayern Munich, don't take anything away from the Augsburg loss at the weekend. There are no longer any teams that are unbeaten in Europe, but Bayern Munich, this just seems to be a year where they can not just win the Bundesliga, but I think they could win the treble. Now, let's get right into it. So we have pipe dream. I'm going to make it very simple. Teams like Carabao came to mind. What they've done in the Champions League this season has been miracles, right? The results against Chelsea, the recent result where they got the win late on. I mean, it's an absolute pipe dream for me to think they can get it done. I'm going to go with another team like Bayer Leverkusen. Look, Millie Tillman is part of a Bayer Leverkusen side that's getting it in the Bundesliga, but I still don't think they have it in the Champions League. Now, this is where I'm going to get a bit controversial. Tottenham Hotspur. I think it's an absolute pipe dream right now that they're going to get any better than what we've seen in the Champions League. I can't believe I'm saying this, and they're in the top 8 right now. So do you guys think I'm a bit crazy with this for Spurs?
No.
I think you've got them too high up.
Yeah. But because of Spurs and their struggles in the Premier League, I would say they're living the dream because this, for Thomas Frank, this is what's keeping him in his job at the moment. And if they and for me, sitting in 5th place right now in the league table with probably the most fortunate opponent to get at this stage of the competition, a draw or a win essentially seals them a top 8 spot. I think they can win at Frankfurt because Frankfurt has been struggling as of late. They're living the dream. In terms of the title chances, they're a negative for me.
So they didn't put them off the graph.
They're living the dream because right now they can forget the nightmare that's the Premier League. So also, I slightly disagree on Frankfurt. They're out. They've got nothing to play for. New manager. There's 0 pressure on them. So it could be a tricky opponent.
Yeah. Well, look, I agree with you guys about living the dream, so I'm gonna put it there. What about Napoli? Where do we put them? Is it a pipe dream? Romelu Lukaku's coming back. We're going to be talking about them later on in the show.
We're talking about winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
Pipe dream.
No chance.
Pipe dream? Okay, so just to put him right there.
Antonio struggles with European competition, and whether it's due to his lack of rotation, injuries, not getting enough preparation for these matches, or his focus on the league, but he's really struggled when it comes to balancing Champions League, Europe, and the league, and this is a Pipe dream.
Mikey, put it back where you had it, sort of half on the black, because that's quite representative, because so many injuries, they don't even have enough for a full badge. They've only got 3/4 of a badge. The badge is injured.
The badge is injured.
Look, I feel like it's almost fitting that it's camouflage right now because we may not even see them in the Champions League after the match against Chelsea, right? So we go to Fever Dream, and I look at teams that could really make a difference in this Champions League. A team that, if you don't take them seriously, they can beat you. If you take them very seriously, they're probably not going to get it done. And I look at a team like Borussia Dortmund. I think it's a fever dream for them to do any better than they've done this Champions League campaign, because in Germany, at home, yes, formidable side. The performance we saw against Tottenham Hotspur I thought was really concerning. And Niko Kovac right now has a lot of big issues within that camp and within that team. What about PSV? I put them in a pipe dream situation, but I think they're having kind of a fever dream season, unless you guys feel different.
Well, at the moment, they have a number of their attacking strikers injured, Ricardo Pepi being the main one. So I look at them as a pipe dream. They are a tough side to deal with, but when we're talking about chasing a trophy in this competition, it's a pipe dream.
Yeah, I'm going to add Galatasaray in terms of fever dream as well. It's not enough to have Victor Osimhen scoring you goals.
No.
I think there's some big gaps in there. Now, I'm going to go up to a different tier, a different category in terms of dare to dream. Sporting Lisbon, dare to dream, man. Luis Suarez is scoring goals, and he's going to be the starting strike for Colombia at the World Cup. He definitely should be. What about Marseille?
See, I would have put Sporting
Dare
in
to dream if you're Marseille.
Fever dream.
Fever dream?
Yeah, in that case, because you give them the credit of a difficult opponent to play, but in terms of winning this competition.
No, yeah.
It's
Okay.
I agree. PSV and Dortmund, similar levels, but none of them are getting anywhere near the quarterfinals.
Yeah, look, for Sporting Lisbon, you just beat the reigning European champions. And yes, PSG had a decent performance, but they've been proven to be clinical. You went and beat Marseille, so I'm gonna keep them up in Dare to Dream. I'm gonna put Marseille up there as well, because ultimately, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Enter Dare to Dream, or should they be living the dream right now? Because, I mean, they're top of the Serie A, but in the Champions League, the loss against Arsenal, question marks for me.
I'm with you in Dare to Dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maximum.
Okay, so here's a team for you. Juve, living the absolute dream right now, in my opinion. The form, the statement win against Napoli. I think Champions League, they could be a dark horse.
Spalletti's done something within that locker room, that club, the culture. You can tell they're enjoying the game again. They're an opponent you probably don't want to face at the moment, because they're all about vibes.
They're in the zone, yeah.
They have full momentum.
Yeah. Atleti, I'm going to go Dare to Dream, although it could jump from Dare to Dream to Living the Dream, given how they finished in the group stage. I think they need Julian Alvarez to get into his best form. Now, this is the biggest one for me, and this is where I think my biggest disappointment has been Manchester City. I'm putting them in the Dare to Dream. I almost want to put them actually in the Fever Dream section of the tiers.
You can't do that.
Because, look, I'm not convinced.
No,
I'm not convinced they can win the Champions League.
I agree with you, Mikey, but never write them off.
Yeah.
Never. They've got too many good players. They can sort the defence out. They can click, and then go on a run.
Okay, so where would you put them? What's more credible?
Dare
to dream, and that is low for them ordinarily.
City, Dare to Dream. Okay,
Yeah.
that means Marc Guéhi's going to come in and work absolute wonders. And now Living the Dream. In the Champions League, unlike La Liga, Real Madrid, you can never count them out. Kylian Mbappe, leading goal scorer of the competition. Alvaro Arbeloa has been doing a decent job since he's taken the job, gotten the locker room back. Barcelona, I mean, there's a time when it felt like a fever dream to think they could compete for the Champions League this season with all the injuries, the Highline situation. Hansi Flick seems to have this team back with a focus, and the Highline, for me, is not part of the conversation right now. I know people feel differently, but for me, that's not it. PSG, living the dream, although this could be a difference if Newcastle beat them. Liverpool, living the dream right now. And, of course, before we get to Destiny Awaits, I mean, am I crazy to say Liverpool are living the dream? Or is the Bournemouth match enough to say, Lahoud, you're crazy?
I'm taking them down a notch. Dare to dream.
Dare to dream.
Dare to dream?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still got issues to sort out, the way they play.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, I agree, the top two.
Okay.
They're already qualified.
So the one that I'll agree, I'll give you some to take something back, right? I can't see that Tottenham, when it comes to the Champions League, what the body of work that they've done this season in the league phase, it's an absolute miracle. What you said about Thomas Frank. So the big thing why I say it's an absolute pipe dream, going into the final match day, and if they don't win, they're without 14 senior players. Mickey van de Ven's one of them. Pedro Porro is one of them. Mohamed Kudus. You have players like Matthijs Tel, ineligible.
Yeah, it's a long
Connor
list.
Gallagher, ineligible.
Yeah.
So I think it's an absolute pipe
For them
dream.
to being in 5th place in this competition, they're living the dream.
Yeah.
For me, it's a little bit like Ange Postecoglou and how well he did in Europe and was terrible and dreadful in the Premier League. Ultimately, he got him sacked. So for Thomas Frank, it's the same thing. He's holding on to his Champions League dream.
We're ranking on winning. They are not going to win this competition.
No, not at all.
Lightning is not going to strike twice. It's a lot tougher competition than the Europa League. Get them right down.
Yeah.
I can't believe you let them bully you, though, to completely take Napoli out of the running. You just left them at the bottom.
No, look, I don't think Napoli are going to beat Chelsea, and I'll tell you why in the next block. The one thing, though, I can't believe you guys let me bully you into thinking Juve are living the dream and can win the competition. You serious?
They're clicking at a good
for me,
moment.
they're never.
We're talking about momentum.
Yeah,
right
never
now.
write them off.
Currently, at the moment,
Yeah.
Juve are
If you
on
go to
fire.
the very top of your list, if you had to separate the top two right now, I'd go Bayern over Arsenal.
All right.
Because Musiala's back?
And current form, and just this week, question over Arsenal's mentality.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.